When you're submitting a case to us, we'll take a variety of income into account. Broadly speaking, we group income under 5 headings, each of which we'll explore in detail. First, we're going to look at income from your applicant's regular job. Of course, if they have a permanent role with a regular predictable salary, this should be fairly simple to record. Applicants must prove their income by providing 3 out of the last 5 months' payslips if they're paid monthly, or 4 out of the last 6 payslips if they're paid another way. We can also consider income from fixed-term or renewable contracts, subject to referral to an underwriter. We'll ask to see evidence of the contract, and we may ask for additional evidence that their current income is sustainable. For instance, we may ask for an employer's reference. We can take this into account for affordability, if it's a regular feature of their wages and sounds plausible based on their job. Just include it with the rest of their monthly salary. We may ask for extra proof of income so we can assess how plausible and sustainable their current level of overtime and commission is. In My Broker Venue, you can use the gross bonus field to enter any quarterly, half-yearly or annual bonuses. We want to know their bonus for the whole year, before tax and any other deductions. When calculating this figure, please use an average of the last 2 bonuses and make sure your client can provide the corresponding payslips. Applicants whose contracts are on a 0 hours basis may be accepted, subject to referral to an underwriter. The applicant must provide the last 6 months' payslips and their income must be regular and continuous. You'll need to enter their year-to-date gross income, tax, national insurance and pension deductions, and the number of periods, months, fortnights, weeks and so on that this covers. Next, we're going to look at self-employed applicants. We'll accept self-employed applicants who have at least 12 months trading. How to calculate their net monthly income and the corresponding evidence you'll need to provide depends on whether or not they employ an accountant. If they are, we can only accept accountant certificates that are less than 6 months old. Use the figure detailed in total net income, then divided by 12. If the accountant's figures are more than 6 months old, the accountant should provide a projection. If these figures are significantly higher than in previous years, the accountant should provide an explanation and evidence they've seen to confirm this. If they're not, we can accept SA 302 statements or tax calculation summaries, as long as the most recent is no more than 18 months old. If it's a regulated application and they're not using an accountant, we can only accept the case if they've been trading long enough to get 2 SA 302s. Calculate their net income using the most recent SA 302 by deducting any income tax and national insurance from their overall income, then divide by 12. The second SA 302 is simply to establish how sustainable the income is. Next, we want to know about any income they get from renting out properties. We need to see their gross monthly rental income from landlord activity, because any buy-to-let mortgages they have will be captured in their existing credit commitments. If they're applying for a mortgage to purchase a new rental property or refinancing one that's currently vacant, we can accept up to 90% of projected rent, or 50% on a holiday let. We'll need to see a satisfactory business plan and an accountant's certificate confirming 2 years' projected income, or an accountant's reference confirming 1 year's projected income. If your client is already claiming their pension at the point of application or funding and can provide their retirement income, we can accept this for affordability calculations. Private pensions are accepted as income. If they take a monthly pension payment, we need to see 2 pension payslips dated within the last 3 months. If they take an annual pension payment, we need to see the last annual award statement or P60, or a bank statement showing the amount credited. State pension income and pension credit is also accepted, if they can provide an award statement for the current year. Lastly, we're going to talk about benefits income. These benefits may be taken into consideration where evidence is provided, to help those people who are less able to work, for instance. In the case of sole applicants, we'll insist they're not their only source of income. We'll also accept job seekers allowance, income support and employment support allowance for secondary or subsequent applicants, where the first applicant is working and they're joint owners of the property. Your client will need to provide evidence in the form of their latest award notice, dated within the last 12 months. If you're using benefits for affordability, they must be likely to be paid for the foreseeable future at their current level or higher. You shouldn't include benefit income if the applicant or proofs provided confirm the payment is about to stop. And should their benefits stop during the term, a plausible explanation for replacement of the income will be required. Your client can also declare any other income they have, and we'll let you know at the time what evidence is required. For instance, we can accept child maintenance payments where the arrangements have been made via the Child Support Agency by court order or another legal agreement. In this instance, we'd ask to see written evidence. If you have any questions about whether we'll accept your client's income and the documentation they have, call Broker Sales on 0161 451 3154.